Welcome and welcome back, everybody, to the OK Grognard Show. Today is Monday, August 15th, 2022, 10 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And we're going to continue with the Magic Item series, looking at the first edition Advanced Dungeon and Dragons Dungeon Master's Guide section on magic items and the subsection on rod, staffs, and wands. This might be a three-parter, so I may just do the table and end it there today. But let me also float the idea. Boy, that looks horrible. Yeah, that's a little better. Change the lighting. Man, this new studio getting fixed up is can't come soon enough for the sake of my on-screen appearance, huh? Who's that pasty old cave fish over there? Yeah, that's me. Anyway, I was talking to somebody about dice and what you use with your dice, and I've got a lot of dice, obviously. They accumulate, and I've looked at dice before, but I've added a few. This can't even be seen, can it? Yeah, maybe. What's it look like? Like Geneva Games, Orange D6. Those are fun. Store needs to pick up some more of those so that we have them on hand for people that are visiting. George, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in the chat there. Appreciate it very much. We're so we're thinking, take a break from the magic item sections, but we couldn't get that all together today because I think I need to take some photos of them as well as be able to show them. And it would help to be doing it in the other thing with the two cameras. Enough said. We're going to hold off on the dice episode until we're better technically equipped to show them off properly. And I want to get all the links together. There's a lot of dice from Koplow. Never sure how to pronounce that. And Cosmo Joe. Andy has had a lot of dice that we picked up from his Studio 6D6 website. I want to have the links for those ready and proper names for what he calls the different types of dice. There's some fireball dice, lightning bolt, but I don't know if they're lightning or electricity. It's I want to have them properly listed. So there's a bit more that goes into that show. In any event, what we have today is some work on the old Dungeon Master's Guide. So, for that, where am I at here? Looks like forward to dice. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for stepping in too. Time for some items to help with logistics and prepping the studio. Oh, interns. Ha. Yeah, right. No, we won't. I'm a firm believer in paid labor, but we're not hiring anybody either. I'm it for getting this project together, and it'll happen pretty quickly here. We're we're getting toward the end of August, and end of summer was my original goal for getting this other configuration set up. So ambitiously, I moved away the green screen early, so it's already in the works to a certain degree. But listen, we're 6 minutes in, and we've got to tackle these rod, staffs, and wands. Summer went fast. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. But that's a good thing because it also, up until this week, it's been super hot too, which has been tough. What do we got? Rod, staffs, and wands. I'm going to pop this up over in the other on the other monitor so it's easy for me to check out. Let's keep in mind a few things with this particular table. That asterisk star that is after the experience point value and gold piece sale value headers assumes that rods, staves, or wands have full charges, because indeed these items are items that need to be charged. We'll get into how many charges at some point when we're talking about the whole of them in the description, but suffice it to say that once they are drained, they are out of charges. Some can be recharged. Um, some take multiple charges for certain effects. They'll have weaker effects and stronger effects and use up different number of charges. Also for this table, C, M, the parentheticals after the names of the items. Parentheticals, the C is for clerics, the M is for magic users, thieves, T, F, fighter, and then of course any means any class can use them. So there are restrictions on who can use these by profession, as they say, or by class, if you will. And that's pretty strict. And this means that class. It doesn't necessarily mean that class or any of its subclasses. So keep that in mind too. And then we'll talk about each one in the description after we're done with the table and the overall description. But let's start here. 1 to 3, rod of absorption. Experience point value 7,500, 40,000 on the sale value. Only one for a rod of beguiling. That's, you got to roll a 4. This is a percentage die table. 5,000 experience, 30,000 sale. Rod of cancellation can be used by any. And I should note, beguiling, cleric, magic user, or thief. Cleric or magic user for a rod of absorption. Cancellation from 5 to 14. And the rod of cancellation can be used by any. 10,000 experience point value. 15,000 sale value. Now notice these things are kind of strangely configured on the values. They're not. There's not an exponent that increases the one to the other, and they're rather wildly disparate. 7,500, 40,000 for the absorption, 10,000, but only 15,000 gold piece value. So quite a change. George has just chimed in saying, unless created by a player, charged items in my campaign always have something less than full. Likewise, it was made to be used by someone. My take to mix it up a bit. Yeah, George, and I should mention I do the same thing when something is in a treasure pile. Um, if there's a rod or staff or wand in a treasure pile, it doesn't, in my treasures, they don't come with full charges. I'll look at the values. I'll decide on some percentage often based on the levels of the characters sometimes, because I don't want an item that is too powerful in the hands of low level characters. So I may throw a wand of lightning, for instance, into a lower level treasure, but only have one or two charges on it. So it's kind of like much more powerful blaster in the hands of a rookie in a sci-fi show. It's more than they're used to handling. It may be over their head, but perhaps I wanted to put a tougher creature somewhere in the area for a particular adventure. And I talk about this in the way of one shots because most of the time when I run campaigns, stuff is where it is, and if it's powerful, too powerful for your group, you should move away from it or run away from it or not go there in the first place if you know it's there. But in one shots, when I'm designing things for pre-generated characters, say for a convention, uh, I'll set something up and I'll give something a limited number of charges so it can be used just for that, and I'll make some sort of information available so that they know that it's not unlimited and they're just not using it with every kobold that they run across. Yeah, great idea, says George. Highly valued item for a low level group for the right occasion. Yeah, just a kind of a specialty, something they can use to take care of a particular problem, um, or at least will help them with it. I don't want, I don't want to throw an item in that's just going to knock out the boss monster, for instance, in a particular one shot, so that you just have to get this thing over to this place and use it, and it's all done. No, it's not that simple. It'll help with the big battle, but it's not going to cure all that ails you in this case of a one shot. So big disparity between the experience point value and gold point value from item to item. So keep that in mind as we're looking through this. 15 or 16, Rod of Lordly Might, fighters only, 6,000 experience, 20,000 gold piece value. The next three, just one apiece. 17 gets you a Rod of Resurrection, that's for clerics, 10,000, 35,000 gold piece value. Rod of Rulership on an 18, anyone can use that, 8,000, 35,000. Rod of Smiting on a 19, cleric or fighter, 4,000, 15,000. Staff of Command on a 20, clerics or magic users, 5,000 experience, 25,000 gold piece. 21, 22, Staff of Curing, just clerics, 6,000, 25,000. That is on a 21 or 22, as I said. 23, Staff of the Magi, magic users only, 15,000 experience, 75,000 gold piece value. On a 24, a Staff of Power, again, magic users. Stabs are kind of their thing, right? 12,000 uh, to the experience point value, 60,000 gold piece value. 25 to 27 gets you a Staff of the Serpent. Cleric, I'm sure inspired by the Tales of Moses. 7,000 experience, 35,000 gold piece value. 32 or 33, Staff of Withering. Clerics only, 8,000 on the experience, 35,000 of the gold piece value. There are, as you note, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 staves, but a fair number of wands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different wands, more than the total of the others combined. But note the values. A quick look down the value, experience point value of the wands, and then the gold piece value of the wands. And you'll see that overall they are lesser than the stabs or the rods. Some of them are quite utilitarian, you'll see. I'm just going to pop down here and see magic detection, secret door and trap location. So some of these things are enemy detection up here, up toward the top. Um, you'll find that overall their effects are a little more straightforward. They have fewer wands with multiple effects. They can use multiple charges on some heavy hitters. So keep that in mind, and when we get into the descriptions, that'll become even more apparent. But we're up there with a wand of conjuration, magic user only, and that's just on a 34 on the chart, 7,000, 35,000. George asks, does identify spell provide exact charges for an item in your campaign or range as written? Uh, I tend to go. Often it doesn't get that far, right? Because identify does a certain number of things, starting with the simplest and then moving on, and depending on how well it works in a given situation. So you might not get all the information, including the charges, but in a one shot, I'll fudge it and I'll usually throw out. You can tell with this identify that it only has two charges left, or even even if characters are only using, say, a detect magic for some reason, I might say that the aura is very, very weak, indicating that it is on its last legs. So I'll give that information up in one way or another, so that because it's something I want the players to know in a one-shot situation. Um, 35 to 38 Wand of Enemy Detection. Anyone can use that. Only 2,000 experience, only 10,000 gold piece value. 39 to 41 Wand of Fear, clerics or magic users, 3,000 and 15,000 respective. Let's see. Wand of Fire, 42 to 44. Magic users only, 4,500 and 25,000 experience and gold piece value respective. 45 to 47, Wand of Frost. Magic users again, 6,000, 50,000. And notice twice the value magic gold piece wise from Fire to Frost. Frost being much more expensive, but only a little bit more experience, 6,000 instead of 4,500. Interesting. When we go into the descriptions, we'll see if that bears up as a as good reasoning. Wand of Illumination, 48 to 52. Any can use it, 2,000, 10,000 on the gold piece value. Wand of Illusion, magic users only, 53 to 56. 3,000, 20,000. I should point out, we were talking about there being 16 wands and only 7 of each stabs and rods, but only a third of the table roll wise, because you only go up to 33 with stabs. So wands are much more populous and predominant. Wand of Illumination, I should have said. Any 2,000, 10,000. 53 to 56, Wand of Illusion, magics are only 3,000, 20,000. 57 to 59, Wand of Lightning, magic users only 4,000 experience, 30,000 gold piece value. 60 to 68, Wand of Metal detect or Magic Detection, any 2,500 for experience, 25,000 for gold piece value. 69 to 73, Wand of Metal and Mineral Detection, any only 1,500, that is the least experience giving wand. 7,500, the least gold piece value. But detecting metal, gold, silver, and minerals, gems, is a big deal for any adventurers. Any adventurers. And they often talk about giving clues in dungeons to lead people. Throw a map. Somebody sells them a map in a tavern, and it gives them some direction when taking an adventure in a larger, say, dungeon area or even out in a wilderness area. And, this kind of does the same thing, except at their insistence. They decide when to use the wand to detect for treasures and then go hunt it. 74 to 78, Wand of Magic Missiles, any. Interesting there, right? 4,000 and 35,000. 79 to 86, Wand of Negation, any. 3,500, 15,000 only on the gold piece value. 87 to 89, Wand of Paralyzation, once again back to a magic user item. 3,500, 25,000. So too on the values there for the Wand of Polymorphing that a magic user can use. 90 to 92 on the table. 93 to 94, Wand of Secret Door and Trap Location, very useful for everyone and usable by anyone. 5,000 experience, 40,000 gold piece value. 95 to 100, the Incredible Wand of Wonder, usable by any if they dare. 6,000 experience, 10,000 gold piece value. Well, as I said, assumes full charges and items on those two columns. Clerics, usable by cleric class. Fighter class for the F. We talked about that. Magic user class. Thief class. Any, usable by any class unless otherwise prohibited. There'll be some caveats amongst the descriptions worth noting. I think that's where the rings are. We will pick up next time in the description section for rods overall, because we are just about, well, we're not quite at the limit, but nevertheless, I'm going to jump into something I can't finish up a section on before it gets too late. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll say thank you to everybody who is popped in today. Thank you also to everybody who's checking this out after the fact. It's much appreciated. And where are we at? Oh, there we go. Okay. Have a good week to everybody out there also. George, Sarah, everyone else. This has been the OK Grognard Show. We've been looking at the first edition Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master's Guide section on magic items. This is part 10 of an ongoing series. We're into the table section on rods, stabs, and wands. And the show streams live on Twitch each Monday at 10 a.m. Central, and then it's archived on YouTube. If you're joining us on Twitch, please do follow the channel and chime in the chat there. If you're catching up later on YouTube, by all means, subscribe and click the little bell so you get notifications of new uploads. Give a thumbs up to any particular videos you listen to and enjoy. And also, give us a little feedback in the comment section on YouTube as well. We always appreciate kind, constructive feedback. Thanks to our Patreon supporters as well. Links will be provided in the show notes. Tom Tullis of Fat Dragon Games, Rick Hershey of Fat Goblin Games, Carlos Lacing of Castle Entertainment, Heath Farndon of the Antipodean D20, Dave O'Brien of 4 Quacks Games, and Shane Bradley, as always, DM Extraordinaire. This has been the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye bye.